Hi, I'm Margie Aliprandi, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you today to share some of the things I've learned in my 28 years in the network marketing profession, because I dearly love this profession, and I believe that when it's done right and when we engage in a smart and efficient way, that we can change our lives beyond measure, and we can change a lot of other people's lives as well. So the topic that I want to talk with you about in this little segment is the importance of getting started right and getting started fast and massive action. You know, through the years, there are just some things you learn, like I know this lesson in every cell of my body. But before we jump into that, I want to just give you a little background on me so that you can kind of know where I'm coming from and my personal story. When network marketing crossed my path, I was at a real decision point in my life. I was a single mom with 3 little kids. My children were 5, 4, and 2 years of age, and I was a junior high school music teacher. Finding myself single, I was torn between the idea of going back to teaching school where I could have a consistent salary, and the desire to be at home with my children, and then also that feeling that I just always felt like there was something more for me, and I knew that if I went back to teaching school, even that wouldn't enable me to give my kids the lifestyle that I would want to give them. And so I signed a teaching contract begrudgingly, and destiny just had a different plan for me, because a few weeks before school started, I happened upon a fledgling network marketing company. Now, I grew up in Utah, so network marketing, I was no stranger to network marketing. But when I saw this company at the right time in its growth cycle, and I saw a product that I knew I could talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime about, I just got lit up. My vision was so big about what was possible. I canceled the teaching contract. I jumped in with both feet and made a whatever it takes decision. And I think that was one of the smartest things that I did. Number one, I was not going to rethink my decision. I knew that if I was going to go after this, that there was no quitting involved. And so that whatever it takes decision really helped me, because in any great venture, there are always going to be ups and downs. But if you've made that rock solid commitment, you don't have to constantly reweigh your decision. You know, like, oh, things are going great today, I'm staying, I'm in. Things suck right now, I'm out. Right? That just eats up so much energy. Whereas if you have made that whatever it takes decision, your eye is so firmly fixed on the goal, on your dreams, desires, and on your why, that you don't even notice the challenges, because your goal, your decision is so much stronger. So that was smart. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, but in retrospect, that was one of the smartest things that I did. And that whatever it takes decision, it meant sometimes that when team members in California, I lived in Utah at the time, when they would invite me to come and do an event with them, I would have to jump in my car and drive to California, because I couldn't afford to fly. And because I also couldn't afford to stay in hotels, I would stay in well-lit hotel parking lots, and then the following morning, I would go to a gas station, whip out my electric curlers, put on my makeup, throw on a dress, and go off to these meetings with all of the belief and passion in my body and say, join me, we're going to become millionaires. And maybe I had driven across the country for 7 people or 8. Of course, they'd promised there would be 50, right? But I was undaunted. A few years ago, I was doing an interview, and the woman said to me, how did that make you feel sleeping in your car? And I knew exactly what she was getting at. But my answer was, I don't know, fine. Like, honestly, there was no woe is me in any of that. It was just simply what had to be done, and so I did it. The upshot of all of this is that I really did move into massive action, and I learned very, very quickly the value of massive action. I recognized that when I got a new team member started, that self-sabotage would move in very quickly for them if I didn't help them get some early wins, help them make a little bit of money, help them get some success under their belt right away, and handhold them enough that they began to taste success, that they began to feel that it was possible for them. And so I learned really early on that window is smaller. It's smaller than we think. There is a very good chance that if we enroll someone in our business and we let them sort of flounder for a week, there's a good possibility that for the life of their distributorship, they may never achieve what they could have if we get them off to the right start. And I was in total massive action. I was undaunted. If somebody said, come do an event with me here, with us here, I would drive whatever it took. And the product that we were promoting at the time was one that we could demonstrate. And so I was driving, this was a belly to belly building time. And I was driving all over the state of Utah. Sometimes I would start one evening meeting and then go finish another one and then go start another one, sometimes 3 meetings in one night. And I remember the moment when it just all paid off. I'd been bouncing around, sometimes 20 people, 30 people, but they were growing. Each one of these little home gatherings, like there was a buzz around this product. Great things were happening. It was all because I was in massive action. And I remember we decided to gather everyone together to have a training. I didn't even know what I was doing, but we invited everyone. We had 50 chairs set out in the room because I am no stranger to the fact that usually you expect more people than actually show up. And the most miraculous thing occurred because of all of those little individual home meetings and getting the word out and just that massive action in the beginning. Well, those 50 chairs filled up before the event even started. People were streaming through the doors. The employees at the hotel were bringing in big piles of chairs and they were putting them out. By the time we were done, we had 150 people. And I remember walking kind of to the back and going, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's really happening. And just like feeling so emotional. Because I knew I'd paid the price, man. I knew that I was going full out. And so here's why it's so important to help people get started right and to help them start fast. Because number one, when you start quickly and you're in massive action, first of all, you get better faster, right? Your proficiency improves. If you're just kind of dabbling and you're reaching out to a couple of people a week and, doing just a little bit here and there, you have to re-gear up every single time and kind of relearn the pitch and the differentiating points. But when you're in massive action and you're talking to people, like you're talking to people every single place you go, then you get really good. You start honing the way you say it, and all of a sudden you're like, your confidence increases and your belief increases. And when you're carrying that energetic around with you, you are attractive and more people are drawn to you. So let me share with you why getting into massive action early on is so very important. Because when you help your new person or when you are in massive action, you're learning more. Your proficiency is increasing. You're getting better at the pitch. You're feeling more confident. Your belief is growing because you sound better and because you're relating more effectively. You become like a magnet. You literally attract people to you, the kind of people that you want that will come and stay and build a business with you. And all of that happens because you're setting a pace and there's a tone. You're creating a feeling of urgency, and everyone around you that can feel that something exciting and special is happening. The other thing is you create a great out of the gate story. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. For the rest of your life, you can tell that out of the gate story, and it has to do with how you got started, the money that you made, the people that you helped, all of those things. And so also when you are making money sooner, faster, it proves to you, your belief will go up. It proves to you that the business is working. And if you have any naysayers in your life, if you're making money, they tend to shut up faster. So also you will will set the pace for your team. You will create that feeling of urgency. And so I just encourage you to get your people started right, make sure you start right. And then there's always this. So let's say that you're new and you didn't realize that the value of getting started fast and right yourself. Hit the reset button. And if you've got team members that you got started and you didn't maybe take the time to really help them understand that this is a business, get them started by knowing what their goals are, short and long term, knowing what their why is, putting them on the fast track so that they can build quickly. Tell them that you want to do a redo with them. Hit the reset button so you can start your story. You know, we often say there's the day that you get into network marketing, and then there's the day that it gets into you. And they're not always on the same day. So you can start your story today by hitting the reset button. And so what I believe is truly that massive action solves all problems. All of those years ago, 28 years ago, I took massive action. I was unstoppable, and I am still being paid today, all of these years later, on business that I generated then because I took massive action. And if you don't take massive action, then it's almost as though you never get lifted off. You can putter along, but you never get that spurt of energy that helps ignite you and helps attract the people around you. So if you're going to go for this, I just invite you to back burner other things and give yourself a season of massive action, because it will pay you dividends for years to come.